We're at the beautiful Ford Field, which really is a sight to behold. It features a 6-story glass atrium, 140 luxury seats, and 7,000 club seats. He'll down it in the end zone. They'll start this drive at the 20. 1st and 10. Here's the throw. There for the catch. Harris was there to bring him down. He gunned that one in there for the first down, didn't he?
He really did. And when you watch a guy throw a ball that hard, they don't move their arm any faster. You see him driving off that back leg. That was a pretty pass.
Makes the catch, and he is dropped.
Well, the defense forced him to make the quick read and throw on that one. The catch was made, but there wasn't much yardage to go along with it. It's up to the receiver to make something happen on a play like that.
Dumps it out right. Hit as he caught it, and he's able to hang on. So it's 3rd down now. The offense will need about 4 yards to pick up the first. Throws it. Hasn't missed yet on this drive.
Drew Brees is having no trouble completing passes on this drive. Accuracy is just one of his many talents.
Gets the pass off. DeMarcus Ware is there on the tackle.
The Lions are putting together a good-looking drive here. That's their 3rd first down.
Brees with the give.
Man, oh man, that's what those defensive guys live for right there. A shot like that, and then they always get up and have a little something to say to you as you're going back to the huddle.
He was hit. Comes down with it. Tackle is made by Brinkley.
Drew Brees has the hot hand right now, and of course that surprises nobody, especially this defense. He's one of the most accurate passers in the league, so to stop him, you have to get some heat on him.
Dangerous pass, and it's picked off. Has plenty of room. And he's gone. Touchdown Eagles.
And you can really see him baiting the quarterback on that one. He wanted him to believe the receiver was open, but he had it all the way.
Jeff Reed is good on the point out. Let's take a look at the sprint drive summary. From his own goal line. Dropped at the 26-yard line. The Lions turned the ball over on an interception their last time out. They hand it off.
So many times it's up to that backside blocker to get his guy on the ground, and it sounds ugly, but typically those guys are chopping at their knees and trying to knock them off their feet, so there's some cutback lanes.
And he's drilled at the 30.
He'll take plays like that all day long.
Gets the pass out. Caught and a big hit. He's stopped in his tracks.
The Eagles did a good job forcing a 3 and out. Anytime a defense can come up with 3 solid plays in a row like that, you know they are right on schedule.
He makes it to the 28. The offense will take over at the 28-yard line. Brown gets the call. Hamlin was there to bring him down. Brown comes away with 2 yards on the carry. The pass is away. Tipped ball intercepted. Tackle was made by Smith.
And there's no question they were sitting on that one. That is one of the bread and butter pass plays of this offense. They've been working against it all week, and that was a special little trick there that came up with the interception.
The defense has him surrounded. Brings it in.
So much of the game today revolves around those substitution packages, trying to bring extra defensive backs on the field to try and help against the pass. But when you have a big receiving tight end, that really makes that plan awfully tough to execute. The Lions are getting on a bit of a roll here. Nice play calling and good execution. The defense looks a little confused right now.
Come on, guys, calm down, y'all.
Just got that one off. The Detroit Lions take just 4 plays to get to the end zone, but they did start at midfield.
Drew Brees is just so confident in his arm. You could almost see him smiling at the line of scrimmage that time when he saw the man coverage, and he zipped it in there.
Jones fields it at the goal line. Hit and dropped at the 26-yard line. The Eagles come back out looking for better results than their last time on the field. He's dropped at the 33 by Moss. That's a nice 6-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd down. Hamlin makes the tackle. Ronnie Brown picked up the 1st down after the gain of 4. Throws it short. There for the reception.
Nice play there. It's only 7 yards, but that's the kind of underneath throw that eventually opens up some throws down the field.
Throws just as the pressure gets there.
It's one of the dangers. You bring those extra defenders trying to get after the quarterback, and you're going to leave some man coverage on the outside. That time the quarterback able to take advantage.
Hurst hands off to the left.
And so many times you hear offensive coordinators criticized because they don't try to run the football enough. But when you get stuffed in the backfield like that, you understand why they would rather call the pass play.
And he makes it out to about the 44-yard line. Weaver is there on the tackle. Dumps it out left. Tackle was made by Harrelson.
Not exactly what they were hoping for from that pass play. They took what the defense gave them, but it turned out to be not too much.
And takes a terrible bounce. The Lions ended their last drive with a touchdown, so they'll look to make it 2 in a row. Hands it off. Rice gains about 4 yards on the play. Throws it out. The stop was made by Jones. Sheelan's with his 3rd reception. Short throw. Brinkley picks it off. And that one will now make 2 interceptions he's thrown in this first half.
Not exactly the way he was hoping to start this football game, but plenty of time still remains. He can get himself right back on track.
Handoff up the middle. He gets out to about the 38-yard line before he's dropped by a host of tackles. We played a quarter, and we're all tied up. We've got 2nd and 9 here. Ball on the 38-yard line. He'll get the call again. And he makes it out to about the 34-yard line before he's gang tackled. Passes, and it's completed. Touchdown, Philly.
There's just something about a
Yeah,
ball
it's
that you
on.
know if you catch it, it's 6 points. And if you don't, you're going to be the goat of the game. It just makes you focus a little bit more.
Philadelphia is up a touchdown. He stopped at the 24-yard line.
Their last series was a downer, but this is a chance now to come back out and prove that you're not going to dwell on that. Just pick up a couple of first downs, and the last thing in the world they need right now, though, is a 3-and-out.
Short throw to the right. Tackle was made by Ware.
Just keeps the ball moving down the field. 6-yard gain and a little progress.
Passes the ball. And now the offense will be faced with a third down situation. And it looks short from up here. They didn't have the ball long there.
And 3-and-outs are embarrassing for an offense. When you go out there and run 3 plays and have to go jogging back to your sideline, those defensive guys, they aren't too happy.
It'll go out at the 46-yard line. The Eagles will look to build momentum by getting another touchdown on this series. Passes it. The stop was made by Clark.
The Eagles are doing a pretty good job in the passing game. The receivers are finding some space in the secondary, and the ball is getting there on time.
They'll give it off here. Brown picks up 2 yards with the carry. Dumps it out right. And that is good for 5 yards through the air. The offense needs about 3 yards to get the first here on third down. On the ground with a tailback.
And a lot of times in that situation, they read offensive linemen. And the minute you see those offensive linemen, sometimes even in their stance, sort of sitting back, you know the counter's coming, you can get penetration and make a play in the backfield just like that.
Passes it out. And he caught it. Tackle was made by White.
Patience for a wide receiver is just so key. He's able to manipulate that defense, set them up one play, come back with the exact same look, and break off of it the next. Beautifully run.
Going for it all. And this one might be on the defender. Here's the call.
Pass interference, defense. The penalty is declined.
First down, and they're very close to tying this game up. Here's the give. O.J. Atagwe was there to bring him down. Rice gains around 3 yards on the run. Short throw to the left.
But if you're going to make a living in this league as a running back, you're going to have to make somebody miss at some point, and that was a big somebody in the backfield that time, able to escape and stuck it in for the touchdown.
Long ties the game on the extra point. Here's your sprint drive summary. Williams fields it at the goal line. He stopped at the 24-yard line. The offense will take over at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10. He throws right. Tackle was made by Bowler. 10-yard pickup on the play. So that'll make it 2nd down. Flips it out short. Bernard was there to bring him down. Smith is able to make his 4th reception. Rolling right. Is there for the catch. Tackle is made by Clark.
The Eagles get another good gainer that time. This offense is finding early success in the passing game.
Here's the handoff, and he's brought down hard behind the line.
Yeah, it really just throws you off rhythm to have a play that gains nothing. You know, you're going to get something, 2, 3, 4 yards, and it keeps you in that rhythm. But when a defense makes a play like that, it really throws your offense off. The Eagles are simply getting stuffed on nearly every rushing attempt. They need to get a spark somehow because this just does not bode well for them.
Gets the ball away. Moss has it.
As a quarterback, there are plenty of times when you're out there on that island all alone and the entire stands can see whether you've got your job done or not. Well, he's gotten it done twice now in this game.
Brushed as he threw. It's caught. White was there to bring him down.
And when you're trying to catch those high, hard ones, you just don't know what's going to happen to your body. I tell you, you haven't lived until you caught one of those and had one of those clowns flip you upside down.
Barely gets that one off.
When you get that kind of pressure, a lot of times the play will result in something worse than just an incompletion.
Throws it. He makes another reception on the drive.
The Lions are having some success getting the ball down the field on this drive. This offense is clicking.
To the end zone. Lester makes the catch. Hold on. This one might not be good. The call is touchdown. Drew Brees throws his 3rd TD pass of the contest. Long adds the extra point. Here's a look at the drive summary presented by Sprint. Hit and blocked at the 23-yard line.
Coming off the interception in the last drive, no reason to really change anything. One big mistake doesn't change this ball game. Just get right back to your game plan.
Here's the pass. He's down the sideline. Hamlin makes the tackle.
And when you get a wide receiver with that kind of talent on the outside, he is a threat to take it all the way on any play.
Gets the pass away.
The Eagles are picking up nice yardage just about every time they go to the air. I'm not sure what's happening with the defense right now, but they seem a little out of sorts.
Throws it short. The stop was made by Clark. On the 11 now. Gives it off. Fights forward to about the 10. Hamlin is there on the tackle. Passes to the end zone, and it'll be 4th down following the pass deflection.
Well, at the end of the game, you go back and you basically say what happened on 3rd down, and you have a pretty good indication of how that game came out. Good play by the defense.
Let's play now, baby. Let's play.
So the kicking team is on the field to try for 3 points. He's got it. Let's take a look at the Sprint drive summary. So after that kick, the score is now the Philadelphia Eagles 17, the Lions 21. They get him at the 19. The Lions have put together a couple of nice drives back-to-back. Let's see if the defense can adjust. Gives it off. Hole tackles him for a loss at the 18.
The Lions are not doing a good job at all on the ground so far. They need to somehow get that turned around, because if you can't run it, boy, it is tough to throw the football.
Dropped behind the line.
There are just some guys in this league that you have to run away from. But the danger in that is you run away from him, and he uses his speed to catch you from behind.
Rice, the ball carrier. Picked up.
Well, the number one rule for a halfback is you have to be able to hold on to the football. All the statistics show you turn it over, and you're going to lose.
Gets the pass away. Harrelson is there to bring him down. Smith now has 5 catches. He'll try the end zone. Third down coming up after that incomplete pass. Short pass to his left. First down now. They'll be looking for 6 points here. And it's good. Here's your sprint drive summary. Makes it out to about the 27-yard line. Let's send you to the studio for this brief halftime break.
Welcome to the halftime show. Let's get you caught up on what's happening around the league.
We'll take a look at the scores from other action. Let's take a look at the stars from this weekend's games. Chris Beanie Wells has rushed for over 100 yards. Here's a look at the first half stats. Both teams moved the ball very well in the first half. Butler has 5 catches. Detroit is up by a score of 21-20. Now let's take a look at some of the top plays from the first half of your game.
The second half is about to begin. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Welcome back to Ford Field. He'll down it in the end zone. The Eagles will begin this drive at the 20-yard line. Throws it short, makes the catch.
The Eagles have been unstoppable when they go to the pass. You'd think the defense would make some kind of adjustment at halftime, but so far that just doesn't seem to be the case.
Brown gets the ball. Gains his way to the 39-yard line before he's wrestled to the ground. Gets it off. Michael Boley was there on the tackle.
And, Tom, that was because the defense filled up all the gaps. The back was looking for somewhere to run, but by bringing the run blitz, they took away all the holes and stopped them for a minimal gain.
Here's the throw. Almost picked. And the pass will fall incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
Just terrific play by the defense. They followed the quarterback's eyes, made a quick jump on the ball, and were all over that one.
From the 15, he's tackled at the 19. The offense will start at the 19.
This is the calm before the storm, baby. Green 39. Green 39.
Throws it. He's there for the catch. Tackle was made by Adibi.
The Lions' passing game continues to impress. There's almost no resistance when they try and throw the ball. It seems like they're getting 10 to 15 yards every time.
Rice takes the delayed handoff. When your running game is struggling, you have to start looking for offense from some of your other players. If they can loosen it up with a few passes, it should open up those running lanes again.
Here we go.
He passes short. Too close to call. Here comes the chain gang.
You don't need all that.
They're just inches short. It's third down now, just about the length of the football away from the first down marker. Dumps it out left.
Drew Brees is making accurate throws on this series. Very good timing with his receivers and a good job by that offensive line giving him time.
Another run. He's starting to show some frustration after another short gain. This defense has really made it tough going. Short throw to the right. Still on his feet.
Drew Brees is sort of a streaky passer. You know, when he gets into a rhythm like he seems to be doing right now, he can shred a defense.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
He breaks the tackle. Holt is playing with some intensity out there. He's been in on 5 tackles so far. Just gets that one away. Drew Brees passes for another score, his 4th of the game. Long is good on the point after. Here's a look at the drive summary presented by Sprint. He'll down it in the end zone. They were forced to punt on their last drive. Hurst will hand it off. A nice pickup of about 8 yards.
Well, they brought the blitz that time. The offensive line did a pretty good job recognizing it. They got the blocks, but the back was still able to get out of there for a nice gain.
Gives it off. The stop was made by Boley. Ronnie Brown gains about 4 yards. That'll be enough for the first.
Everybody just calm down. Focus.
Brown on the handoff. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, those defenders get paid too, and every once in a while they win the battle. Clearly that time they were all over this offensive line.
He's still going. He's hammered in the backfield.
The Eagles have to be frustrated with their lack of running success in this game. I mean, how many times can you get beat like that and still keep trying to hand the football off?
Defense coming, and the ball comes out. Detroit gets possession.
What a tremendous play by the defense. You really began to get the feeling this offense was getting something going. They stripped the football out of there and kill the drive, kill the momentum.
Here's the give. He fights forward to about the 20 before several defenders bring him down. Rice gains about a yard on the play. Gets the pass off. Touchdown, Detroit.
5 touchdown passes now, and that is really something. He's starting to mature and take total control over this very complex offense. Pretty amazing for a young guy.
Long tacks on the extra point. Let's take a look at the sprint drive summary. He's tackled at the 29-yard line. They'll go to work at the 29-yard line. They keep it on the ground with the tailback. Foley was there to bring him down. Foley tracks him down, wraps him up for tackle number 5. Gets the pass out. Bernard gets his hand on it. 3rd down coming up after that incomplete pass. The pass is away. Pass is complete. Tackle is made by Cortland Finnegan.
Receivers who can make plays like that on 3rd down tend to have nice, long careers.
They hand it off. And he's hammered at the 49. Brown gets 3 yards on the play.
Not very often in a game does a defender get a clean shot like that on a running back. Typically, the running back didn't see it coming to take that kind of a shot.
Thomas was there on the tackle. Brown gains about 5 yards on the run. Third down now. They'll need a couple of yards to convert for a first down. He's going to be tackled for a loss.
The Eagles continue to get beat off the ball. Their linemen look tired. They're physically outmatched, and it's beginning to take a toll on these runners. I'm not sure how many more times they want to carry the ball. The Lions are looking like a confident bunch on offense right now. If they can put together another touchdown drive here, they'll have a significant advantage.
He throws short. There for the catch. Brinkley makes the tackle.
How about this? No penalties called so far in this one. You go the entire first half without a penalty, and now we're into the 3rd quarter.
Throws it out. And the pass is knocked away. Khalid had the coverage on the play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Rice, the ball carrier. Brought down behind the line. He still can't seem to find any kind of rhythm in his ground game today. Give the defense credit. Jones awaiting the return. Jones fields it at the 26.
The offense has to find a way to put some points on the board, and it has to start happening now.
On the ground with a tailback.
And I really like the discipline of this defense. You never see these guys trying to do too much. They control their gaps, and that time there was nowhere to go.
They tackle him for a loss.
The time the offensive line just didn't get any push there. They've got to do a better job knocking those guys off the line of scrimmage.
So, at the end of 3, our score is the Lions 35, the Eagles 20. The Eagles start this final quarter with the ball. They'll be looking for a quick score. He throws left. Cortland Finnegan is there to bring him down.
The Lions did an excellent job tackling and keeping things in front of them on that series to force the 3-and-out.
He fields the punt at the 60. The offense takes the field, and we'll see if they can put something together after their last drive ended with a 3-and-out. Hands it off. The stop was made by Trent Cole.
Nothing makes a defensive coordinator cringe more than seeing that kind of run, because then it sets up the play action, and there's almost no way to stop an offense if you can't stop the run and you have to deal with play action.
Hey, pick sticks, pick sticks. Here we go.
Rice on the handoff. Adibi makes the tackle.
Well, that was the perfect time for them to call a blitz. They got in there, filled up all the gaps, brought down the running back for a short gain.
Pitch out. He's dropped for a loss.
Well, that's what happens when defensively you get every gap covered. There is simply nowhere to go with the football. No chance for the running back that time.
Rice on the delay. The stop was made by Harper.
Well, I'm sure the defense was caught a little off guard by that run call there, but if you're going to call run there, you better pick up a first down or you're going to be reading about it in the newspaper the next day.
Brought down at the 26-yard line. They didn't look sharp on their last drive and were forced to punt it away. Short pass. He does a good job to hang on to the ball. Smith has 6 catches now. Passes to his left. Tackle was made by Cortland Finnegan. Scaife makes his 3rd grab. Passes. Comes down with it. Finnegan was there to bring him down. The defense just didn't match up well on that play.
Yeah, tough to match up one-on-one in man coverage against that wide receiver. He's pretty good.
Here's the halfback. Brought down at the 38 by Seymour. 2nd down now with 10 to go. Ball on the 38. Short throw to the left. Tackle at the 30 by Hamlin. Smith has 7 catches in the game. Passes the ball. And they'll keep the offense out there on 4th down. Ronnie Brown did a good job to get free and pick up the first. Brown takes it right side.
And it looked like this defensive line just beat them off the snap. Sometimes those guys can time out the quarterback's cadence. And if the quarterback doesn't start changing that snap count, his offensive line is going to really struggle. That's the kind of pitch and catch you just love to see in the NFL. And the difference is these quarterbacks' abilities to zip it into little tight spaces, and these receivers don't miss.
Up and good. Here's your sprint drive summary. He's tackled at the 27. They had to punt it away on their previous drive. And he will lose yardage on the play.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to admit defeat on a play as a running back and just try and get that thing back to the line of scrimmage.
Hands it to the back. Cole grabs it up. To the 20. To the 10. Touchdown, Philly.
Do you know how hard it is to scoop up one of those loose fumbles on the run? maintain possession and get it in the end zone. What a great athletic play.
Brings it in. Scaife now with 4 catches in the game. Brought down at the 26-yard line. From their own 26-yard line.
Come on, baby. Rock and roll. I try to get you, baby.
He didn't get back to the line.
Really impressive play that time by this defensive line. It wasn't just one guy, but every guy up front just dominating their guy at the point of attack.
Green 39. Green 39. So. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Got that. Come on, D. Run. All eyes on the ball, baby. All eyes on the ball. Play the run. Ain't never quit, fellas. Keep our boys. I'm back for one, boys. Wide. Play it.
Here's the give. Tagwe hits him for a loss at the 22-yard line.
It is just so difficult for offensive lines to account for the safety. Typically, that's the one free runner that you have. And if you have a top-flight safety back there that can come in and make those kinds of plays, it really helps your run defense.
Let's go. Let's go, baby. Make a move and let's go.
2 minutes left in the ball game. Rice gets another carry. Gains his way to the 30-yard line.
Great job by the defense. They come up with a key stop. They'll have to punt the football away, and now you have a chance to win it here at the end.
They get him at the 27-yard line.
Well, this is a really good position to be in. They have the ball on offense, enough time to get into position for a game-winning kick. I like this situation.
Throws it short. Scandrick was there on the tackle. Scaife with his 5th grab of the game. Passes it. Tackle was made by Finnegan. That pass put him over 300 yards for the game.
And what's really impressed me has been his accuracy. He's been squeezing the ball into some tight situations all game. His accuracy has just been tremendous.
Passes it out. Leaping catch. Another positive game. That gives him 100 yards receiving for the game.
And you know, it's not just a couple of routes that he runs well. That's what makes him so tough. He can run the good underneath routes, but he can also take you over the top as well. So you have to give him those little throws.
The Lions will take their first time out of the half. There for the reception.
Good job all the way around by the defense that time. Not only did they have the deep routes completely covered there, but they also had the check down well within their grasp.
Detroit calls a timeout. That was their 2nd timeout. The offensive line just hasn't opened up many holes for him. He's really having a tough time out there. There's a flag on the play. Looked like someone got caught holding. Here's the official call. So the kicker is on, and this is for the lead. Will he be a hero tomorrow? And he makes it. Here's a look at the drive summary presented by Sprint. He really came through on that long-distance attempt.
You don't make a kick like that without a perfect hold and a perfect snap. But let's give this kicker some credit. That was an extraordinary effort. First things first now, certainly the offense has to move the ball, get down in field goal range, then that field goal kicker has to earn his money.
Gets the ball away. He goes up high for the catch.
And he went way up to snag that one. That was a pretty catch.
shows a fake spike. Drops the easy pick. Second down now following the incomplete pass. Breeze can take his time here. Deflected and broken up. O.J. Atogwe was defending on the play.
Not so much a bad pass as a bad decision. He saw the coverage there, simply had to go to the next receiver. He didn't make the right move.
Trent Cole makes the tackle. Sheelands has now caught 30 passes on the season. Fakes the spike, looking to throw it. He catches it and is tackled immediately.
And that's good quarterback play. He recognized the blitz, he understood what was happening with the coverage behind it, and found the open man.
That'll do it from Detroit. Stay right there for highlights and stats.